George Flamengo and Larry Aiken.
They're from Ponsford. We've had to drag them out of the jack pines over there and bring them over here and get them exposed to the public. And so we had to brainwash them back in the bar room and tell them what we needed up there in the front. So we hired him as the first executive director of the State Indian Affairs Commission. And he provided all kinds of communications back to the tribes. I mean, in the bands, in the communities. Everybody picked up the phone and say, hey, John, we got a problem over here. Okay, and he checked it out to the various departments, and he knew the ropes, and he was politically astute to begin with. And that's, I'm not going to name him right now. I'm going to let him sit over there, let him get anxious, because I know he wants me to mention his name. But anyway, we got this thing going, and we had a good rapport with the state legislators, both parties, DFLers and Republicans. Mm-hmm. Heck, we had the best rapport, and I was really proud of the fact that we started that. And it's still in existence. And but we need an organization like that to maintain a daily inventory of what's going on in the Indian world. Mm-hmm. We can't have anybody in these offices who become self-serving, grandstanding and all. But John B. didn't do it. So now I'm going to mention his name, John Bakanaga. Bakanaga means Bakanage, means he won. That's the interpretation of his name. And he was a Golden Gloves man at one time. Then he had to hang up his gloves because he acquired a new name, Canvasback Bakanaga. He was always on a canvas. So, but now he's our air director of the Indian Health Service. He's come a long way. And so with that State Indian Affairs Commission, we got good possibilities if we have some real strong leadership there to maintain the contact and remind Rudy, all the state legislators, both parties. Now, going back to the national level, we have the National Tribal Chairman Association composed of all the elected leaders across the country, and the NCAI, National Congress of American Indians. If they quit bickering about personalities and become unified, I've heard so many unity speeches, I'm sick and tired of them. But we're going to have to unify and draw some attention. We need the news media to give us some press coverage. When you have the press conference here with the President of the United States, nobody ever mentions what you're going to do about the American Indians. Nobody. Always talking, what are you going to do to help out Israel? Or some other goddamn foreign beggar. Look at there, Al Hay. He had a shuttle service between Argentina and England, Margaret Thatcher. It cost us several $1 million. Nobody said anything about wasting money. The biggest waste we have today is in the United States government. Overrun, cost plus, and they justify it saying we need all this. Yeah, the biggest goddamn wasteful operation is right in the Pentagon. I know it. Everybody knows that. We got documents here all over the goddamn place that shows that. What the dickens is that? Wait a minute. No, I don't have it handy here. But the Clinch River, there is a pork barrel, if you ever recall one. Then they're always saying, how come the Indians, why do we have to help the Indians? Look at there, what the Indians gave. Look what they gave. Their lands, the resources, and everything else, including our rights. And they're saying that the Indians are burning the taxpayers. The Indians have contributed more than any other taxpayer group in the whole United States. We've already paid our taxes and then some. Now we're going to foreclose the mortgage and we're going to start collecting our taxes back to the United States government.
Raj, you also talked about, when we were talking before we went on, you talked about your days in the boarding school, and all three of us here are products of the boarding school. What, in your estimation, why were the boarding schools really trying to do something to Indians? What was the method behind the boarding school? Well, insanity, if you will.
Well, their basic philosophy behind all that was to assimilate the Indian people, get you away from home. You quit talking Chippewa and living your own Indian way of life. Mm-hmm. And you get into the boarding schools like Flanders, South Dakota. I'll use that. We're all familiar with that. And we had Haskell as well. Haskell had some famous football teams in the early days. Mm-hmm. and a heck of a lot more famous than Jim Thorpe's team. He had only one gang, but we had several football teams in Haskell. My father went there. My mother-in-law went there. My wife went there. Many other people. And I know you two are products of it. Well, the boarding school concept was to provide step up the assimilation program to the Indian people. And we were thrown in with different Sioux. I pretty much said nationalities. I don't know whether we classify our friends as Sioux that or not. But anyway, we have a lot of fun giving each other a lot of guff, the Sioux. They were my best friends. Best friend I ever had was a Sioux. Now, the boarding school concept also provided educational opportunities because at the reservation level, we didn't have no transportation system. We had little boarding schools back home, and they were all overloaded. And so many of our parents and grandparents sent us to boarding schools, and we all went to school a half a day. I did, worked the other half a day. So I will get into the work attitude, develop my work attitude. Well, heck, my father provided work attitude. Only I feel I kept that wood box full.
Yeah.
He always said, "Son, don't you ever forget that work never killed a man." So, all right. Now, the boarding school, when I went to school, there, Toman was, and Flandreau, and also in Haskell, quickly. I was telling about this story. It did have some benefits, lasting benefits, for me anyway. It's the discipline that I acquired because you had to conform with others, you know. We were under the military rule. We'd get up by the bugle. We had to wear uniforms in my time. They were cut down because the Jews out in New York City, you know, made uniforms World War I. We had breeches and leggings. Oh, you should have seen me in those days. Yeah, and so I served my draft period at that time, and I know you guys did too, but going to school one time, I was describing this to people, and a friend of mine back there, he said, "Hey, Mr. Jourdain," he says, "you said you went to school half a day, huh?" "Yep." "Well," he says, "I've always wondered, how come you're half off?" Well, I've been trying to catch them with the other half. But right now, there's a threat to close Wapton and a threat to close Flandreau, and we're fighting that. Everybody's fighting it. Now, let me tell you, I got a granddaughter who is just eager to get back there because she acquired a lot of friends. She's really the third year she'll graduate, and she's just bubbling with enthusiasm to go back. And when she gets there a few weeks, and she says, "Geez, I'm getting tired. I hope I can get home right away." But then she gets here, she's restless, like everybody else. I heard some little kids from Wisconsin in April, I went to Leamington at a hearing, a so-called hearing. They had one person sitting there. Ken Smith, the assistant secretary, who didn't come. I call him a political coward. He sent one of his peon clerks from Washington, D.C. to conduct that hearing. I listened to those little kids talking there, and they read off a sheet, a statement that they have been written, you know. And he said, if they close Wapton, I'll have to go back to my reservation. He said, I'm not going to like it. I'll go right back to pot, drinking, and nobody likes me in the public school anyway. So they're willing to sacrifice education benefits for the Indian people for the benefit of the rich cabinet that we have, the millionaire cabinet that Reagan has.
Raj, we have about 1 minute. Just quickly, could you sum up what you hope to do, the future of Red Lake and that kind of thing? You got to keep on fighting and that kind of stuff? Well,
you try to improve the economy of the Red Lake Reservation. And we have, like Purpose made a quick trip up to Bemidji, and he met with three Potlatch, Northwood, and Uply. But he ignored Red Lake. We've had a sawmill there for over 100 years. We got $1 million inventory. We're going to sell that. And so that's the basic problem we have. We need some money to keep on going, and of course we're at the mercy of the economy today.
Larry, it's been an education. It's been education, Roger, having you on the program. I hope that everybody stays with us and